everybody, and welcome back to Liga Raketa Southeast Europe Rocket League Championship Season 5. I'm your host and caster, Rydro, and this is week 3, day number 1. And before we get into anything, we have a lot of big games, but first, let's give a shout out to our sponsors, Challenger Mode and Blue Phoenix GG. Without them, would it have been possible to have this tournament up and running, and especially Nenji's efforts. And today we have NSX to be the guy handling the stream, and he's also going to be the observer. So huge shout out for you, NSX. And back to the games, we have Ego Maniacs versus Fort Templar Renegades. And Ego Maniacs, they are the champions of Season 4, which was a couple of months ago. And we have Ego Maniacs versus Fort Templar Renegades. Who did used to be playing for Ego Maniacs, but he split off and he decided to go in his own path. So we have Swizz, who stayed under Ego Maniacs, but with so many different players. To give you guys some quick info, Swizz gonna be playing with Quellos and Alpine, and also I believe PokemonGoSuck. That's his name. But Quellos, he's Season 3 champion, so we have basically two winners of the previous competitions. While we have in Renegade side, we have Hooded, who's also a Season 4 winner. So basically, we got champions in both sides, and you really wonder who's gonna come out on top, because this is gonna be possibly one of the biggest games that we're gonna see in the league play. And especially for Swizz, like two players deciding to leave the team and having two new players to be joining Ego Maniacs. You really wonder how this gonna turn up like, because I'm really curious to see if Swizz gonna be adjusting his playstyle just to fit in with Quellos and Alpine, or maybe he's gonna be playing the same as he did before. Like maybe we're just gonna see some kind of different playstyle, because Quellos, he got like a lot of individual skills. He's a really good 1v1 player, but this is 3v3 game, so it's not gonna be the same as 1v1, of course. I don't think a lot of things gonna be carried over, but unless we get to see Quellos being really creative and using his mechanics in 3v3 game, I would love to see that. I would really like to see how Quellos gonna do that. While we have Hooded, I'm not sure if he's gonna be playing today, honestly, but Hooded also got really nice mechanics. We have seen him playing against Ricer eSports, which was, I believe, the first series that they played in. They got 3-0 victory against them. And of course, once Hooded is going to be playing, and the team going to start freestyling their way to get their sweeps. And that's how they did that's how Hooded did it last season, and that's how he's doing it here. But I really wonder if that's going to happen again, or Ego Maniac's new roster going to change everything up. But that's not all. We have Swizz versus Hooded here, but also we have Swizz versus Tokyo, and I heard a lot of some kind of rivalry or maybe some kind of competition going on between of these players. So Swizz may have to deal with two players he would like to prove wrong in this series. And we also have Quellos. He played against AzzaRazza in one of the minor events that we hosted a couple of maybe months ago. AzzaRazza made it to the second place in that 1v1 tournament, but he didn't really win against Quellos. Quellos, of course, gonna win those 1v1 tournaments. And this time, Quellos and AzzaRazza, they gonna be not in the same side, of course. AzzaRazza will be, he's also a player for Renegades. So that's like a lot of reasons for the players, like they really need to win this. And I think, yeah, there's like some kind of not necessarily beef, but like I say, just some kind of rivalry, or like maybe some ex-teammates they used to be playing together, and right now they're not in the same side anymore. And that's enough, gonna add a lot of excitement into the series. Ego Maniacs versus Renegades. Who do you think can win? Let us know in the chat right now. And I think we can have our game to be started like in few minutes later. I'm not really sure how long that's gonna take, because I'm really excited. I really can't wait to see it. Once I've seen Ego Maniacs versus Renegades, of course, Swizz and Hoodie, they used to play together, but right now they're not doing that anymore. So I was like really excited. I don't know about you guys, but it's gonna be a big game, and it's gonna be a big series, of course, and a lot of people are gonna be like having some kind of expectations going on. and you can have your own predictions too. And we're still waiting for the players to be joining in. I'm not really sure how long that's gonna take, but yeah, back to what I said earlier. We have champions in both sides, and there you go. The players are joining right now, so we can start very, very soon. Quellos won the Season 3 Liga Raketa Championship, while Hooded and Swizz, they won Season 4 together under Ego Maniacs last season. And you really wonder who's going to be coming out on top, because we have a lot of experienced players here. We also have Tokyo, who I believe recently he played for RLCS, trying to get qualified. I'm not sure if he made it though or not. I don't know, but he got a lot of experience for sure. And same thing for the other names out there. So it's gonna be a juicy series coming up, and I really can't wait for this to be starting. And we have more players joining in, and I think we're really good to go, as we got all of them in the lobby, I believe. And Hooded is not really gonna make it. We have Terrarium, Tokyo, and Azza make it here for Renegades, while in Yu-Gi-Oh! Maniacs we have Alpine, PokemonGoSuck, and Swizz. And the players are joining, and I really can't wait for this to start, because, like I said, it's gonna be a very, very big series. So show some hype in the chat if you're watching this, because this potentially could be the biggest series that we're ever gonna see in the league play, as we get the kickoff to be starting. Now Azza trying to play defensively, taking his time, coming out from the side. Now Pokemon sending it to the midfield. Alpine collecting this one up. Terrarium trying to take control. Alpine trying his best to get the center ball. It's gonna be dropping Dangers to the right in front of the box, but nobody is there to clean it up, as Terrarium handling the situation very carefully. Pokemon with a shot on net, and Tokyo defensive demo relieving the pressure for now. And Tokyo, or maybe even Terrarium, taking over now, sending it high. Azza taking control, sending it off to the other side. Alpine sending it high. We're seeing a lot of high setups coming in so far, and especially from Ego Maniacs, they're trying their best to have their setups, have their centers, but we're not really seeing any follow-ups yet. And I think the first goal is very, very important for both teams right now. Pokemon with a shot on the backboard. Alpine trying to get the read, but he's going to be sending it to the corner. Swizz again taking over. And for Renegades, they have been playing it defensively nearly the entire time. Azza with a shot on net, and Swizz couldn't really keep up with all of that. He got the touch, but that wasn't enough. As to Rayum, he gets the cleanup, and 1-0 on the board goes for Renegades. It's just the moment they break through the whole defensive situation that they had been going through the entire time. They get their offensive play, and they also get the lead. Now Tokyo sending it to the other side, to Rayum, getting the pinch of the wall. That is a really creative way to clear it. And Pokemon with it's really the best touch, but Swizz is really in a good position to back his teammate up. And oh, what a dunk from Tokyo, getting the read. I was expecting that to be cleared away. There was like no way that Tokyo would have got that dunk, but look at the read and the speed, the confidence coming in that play from Tokyo to extend the lead. 2-0 on the board for Renegades. 3 minutes remaining. That's not going to be the end of the game yet. But so far, it seems like the pressure is slowly dying off for Ego Maniacs. They had a really aggressive start, but really haven't really seen that much of productive plays coming in. Now Swizz is taking his time. Tokyo again doing the same thing. Terrarium getting blocked. And a really high setup. I think not a lot of players having enough boost. Now Alpine doing it slow. Alpine with a solo play, and he gets to finish the work. Ego Maniacs they finally get something on the board. Alpine taking away one player and Swizz just harassing the last defender, even though he didn't really get the buff, but that's enough. Just added the panic in that situation. And the final touch just came in with one step closer toward the comeback here in the first game. And Pokemon sending it to the other side, but Terrarium is there to meet it up. Swizz, not a lot of boost. Again, Liga Maniacs, they've been low boost in so many situations so far. Terrarium beating the challenger there. Pokemon once again in the defense, clearing it away. Azza didn't really get a dunk this time, but Tokyo once again controlling the midfield. They're keeping the ball on the blue side for quite some time right now, and with that in mind, they also don't really have enough boost to keep up with the speedy play that we're seeing right now. So I really wonder how they can be holding up. They're one step closer toward tying up the game. So far, Renegades, they have been controlling the pace very well recently. Tokyo not getting the clear, but Azza, he's there to back him up. With nearly 1 minute left. And the pressure goes on. Swizz, really good pass back to Alpine, but Alpine couldn't really find the net. So the passing plays are kinda there. And then another back pass comes in. Alpine taking control. Can they finish it this time? But Azza sending it high. Tokyo, is that gonna be an open net to get to see a pass? But the shot wasn't there. And less than a minute right now. The pressure goes on back and forth for both sides. Azza clearing it away, but still in the orange side. Swizz, again, 0 boost for Ego Maniacs. They really need something to work with, and that's gonna be extremely difficult to do once you don't have a lot of boost in the tank. And the 30 seconds notification showing up. Pokemon trying to make a play in the corner, not really forcing it to be coming out from the corner, but trying to play it very smart. And now Pokemon with a shot toward the wall, looking for the follow-up, sending it really high. Tokyo just trying to slow down the play, and time is already ticking. The ball is still up and high, but everybody leaves it as Renegades. They take the first game. We have seen great pressure from both sides. Ego Maniacs, they did extremely well in the offense in the first few minutes. However, that didn't really seem to be enough. Like, yeah, they got the amount of shots. They got 5 amount of shots, and I think that's the same as Renegades. But for Renegades, they managed to get something done in the end. Like, also that dunk from Tokyo. Like, they got the confidence, especially once they go in the offense. While Ego Maniacs, yeah, they had a couple of shots. They had a lot of times where they get to center the ball, but we haven't really seen those cleanups, and the creativity didn't really seem to be there most of times. So it kind of looked a bit predictable for Renegades, and that also didn't seem to be enough to be taking down their defense. Still a 1-goal game that was very close, and I still believe the series could go either way around. Both teams are capable. Both they have the defense, they have the offense. So it just Ego Maniacs, I think they really need to keep up with their boost management, because in a lot of situations they were very, very low in boost, and it's really difficult to keep up with such a pressuring play when you don't have a lot of boost. And also Renegades, they're putting the ball high in most of situations, and you really need to go up high in the sky to get those clears. Otherwise you're gonna let them to have a lot of space. Here in game 2, I wonder if they're gonna be bouncing back. Tokyo just getting a soft touch, make it a little bit easier for his teammate to take over, as has been backing up his teammate in so many situations in the first game. If there's gonna be a mistouch or anything, he's gonna be there for his teammates, and I think that is some kind of maybe some kind of feature that is not respected well enough, which is, yeah, not necessarily starting things off, but at least being there for your teammates once they make a mistake. You're always gonna be there, and very, very quickly, and before you even get to see any punishment comes in. Now we're in 1 minute in, haven't seen anything yet, but the pressure still goes on. Swizz, shot getting denied really quickly. Now Alpine, or maybe even Azza taking control. Also getting to win the 50. Tokyo already high in the sky. Nobody getting the touch. And a little bit of chaotic defensive situation for Liga Maniacs, but they still manage to break through. Alpine with a clean shot on net, and they take the lead. It just bounces off the wall, and Alpine with his positioning, yeah, that still kind of looked really dangerous as two players overcommitted that play, but such a clean shot, you don't really want to let those chances go to waste. And Liga Maniacs, they managed to take the lead in 1 minute and a half. As sending it right back to the blue side, to Terrarium. And it seems like Renegades are trying to gain some control in their defensive plays, not always rushing their counters. And Alpine with a shot coming in from the side, extending the lead. 2-0 on the board. First it was just coming from Swizz, couldn't really get the shot on net, but still bounced really well for Liga Maniacs to have their follow-up. 3 minutes remaining, and Liga Maniacs, they're having really good pressure in this game. Seems like, yeah, everything seems to be productive for them. In the first game, we have seen the same thing happening, but they didn't really get their goals, and we still have a lot of time remaining. Did they really fix their problem when it comes to the boost management? Tokyo dropping it down, but Swizz coming in the way to block that play. Alpine sending it high. Swizz can't really find the redirect of the wall in the air, not really off the wall, but Demo comes in. That's going to be creating a lot of space, and Swizz with a shot. Pokemon and Swizz, they get to have their passing play going, and 3-0 for Liga Maniacs. I think, again, they tried to control it in the defense, but I think it's slowly becoming even more predictable for Liga Maniacs, so that's encouraging them to go and force the 50, just go and challenge them. Yeah, just go and challenge the ball without really having to be worried, because that's what they're always trying to do in the defense. And the bounce and the follow-up, once again, Liga Maniacs always in the right position, but Alpine's shot doesn't really go on net this time. They still have their 3 goals lead, but still, they want to make sure that they're going to be taking this game. Alpine coming off the wall, dropping it down, but again, Pokemon getting completely demolished as he gets his setup. Now Tokyo having to take control, but he decides to win it all the way. Azza with a shot on net, but not really on net, it's going to be on the wall. And also Tokyo trying to get that read, trying to get that touch off the wall. Swizz sending it high. Alpine couldn't really finish it as Azza, he was right in the way, and Pokemon and Tokyo both misses the ball. Swizz forcing a 50 in the corner, trying to continue on the pressure, but the ball gets boomed all the way back, and Pokemon Go couldn't really keep up with the save. It's still in. Terrarium finishing it off. A lot of chaos was going on. It was so unclear. Is it gonna go in by itself? And I think Swizz, he got the touch, but it was completely rushed, and you can't really blame him. It was such a messy situation, and Terrarium, he just had to come in and finish the job. And you'll finally get to see the first goal for Renegades. Now Pokemon trying to have a double tap, almost found the net. Just seems to be a little bit too high. Tokyo not really getting the redirect. Maybe that kind of faked the last defender, as it looked like he was, yeah, he's gonna get the touch, as he seemed to be in the right position for it. But I don't think he had enough speed to keep up with all of it, and Pokemon couldn't really get there in time. And from 3 goals lead to 1 goal lead right now for Liga Maniacs, I really wonder if that's going to be enough for them. But a lot of slips are happening for Liga Maniacs. They're just letting some goals come in. 1 minute left as a defensive demo. And Swizz denying the counterplay. Pokemon with a setup, keeping it high. Still able to get the 50, but nobody seems to be able to read that bounce. And now Tokyo sending it high. Alpine dropping it right down. Pokemon clearing it really high, and this is the kind of direction that Liga and Maniacs are going with. Once you have the ball in the defense, just boom it all the way back to the orange side. So you won't have to deal with any more of those defensive mistakes because they have been quite silly. And it's kind of sad to see those mistakes happening. They had a really good and explosive start. The Alpine still able to keep up with the 50, and Azza chasing the demo, not really allowing Alpine to have his space to work with. And the ball is still alive for now. Swizz and Azza getting the 50. Ball is still alive. Tokyo keep it high. Now Alpine is gonna be the one taking over. Tokyo again, he still keep it high. Swizz dropping it down and they kill it. Liga Maniacs, they take the second game, but they had a really good start. They had their goals, they had an explosive start, but like in the end, this is where the weakness once again started to show. A lot of defensive mistakes, like yeah, maybe they couldn't really keep up with it. Where like the first goal, where it seemed to like it was extremely awkward for Pokemon to get the save, and you know it was like 90% in. I know, but it's like still standing in front of the goal line, and 3 players just lining up. None of them were able to clear it away. And also that other goal where it was far post, they couldn't really get that save. Renegades, they're still able to find their ways to respond back, even though they had a lot to deal with in the beginning of the second game. So we're tied up here in the series 1-1, and another 1-goal game that we get to see. So it's being really close. You'll wonder who's gonna win, but I don't think there is anything like I don't think there is such a thing called momentum here. Both teams are just swinging back and forth against each other's. Where it looks like, yeah, this team is doing great. Give it a few moments and we're gonna see the other team stepping up. And right now this is game 3. And Swizz having to clear it away. Having a lot of base being given. Swizz getting the demo, creating a lot of space. Pokemon couldn't really get the follow right in time. So I think that created a lot of space, like getting rid of Tokyo for a couple of seconds. That was more than enough to help Liga Maniacs stop being extremely defensive from the start. Tokyo with a solo play, he shoots it high, it's gonna be bouncing all the way out. Azza with a follow-up, couldn't really get the touch as Swizz sends it back to the corner. Now Tokyo sending it to the backboard again. Couldn't really find the net, and Azza once again he goes for the follow-up. Couldn't really get it, and Swizz trying to force a dunk here in front of the goal line. Just goes on back and forth. Both teams having their pressure, having their shots, and Pokemon I think tried to maybe pass it to somebody, but there's like nobody in the corner. Really good attempt to get the touch though, but Alpine once again the shot getting blocked. 1 minute and a half in. I think we have seen a lot of shots coming in from both sides. Really curious to see who's going to be the one scoring because both are just extremely good in the offense. But I think it's just the accuracy that is maybe kind of lacking for both sides. Because they're going for the shot as fast as possible. And they're trying their best to make the most out of every play. Just make sure to beat every defender. And make sure that you're gonna have another player to follow it up once it bounces back, especially if it's gonna be bouncing off the wall. And Pokemon, that's gonna be a little bit of a high bounce, but he's still able to add some pressure in that situation. And I think we're gonna go to like halfway in without the first goal. A lot of space being given, but Azza coming out of nowhere to get the block. And Pokemon, not a lot of boost, but he's still able to keep up with the pressure, and that is something Liga Maniacs that have been doing over and over again. Really good pass from Tokyo to Azza. Now Terrarium sending it up to the ceiling, but Alpine back to Azza. Azza, he's still able to get the ball across, but it's gonna be sent back immediately. And Swizz not really getting the shot, but big demo comes in. Couldn't really make the most out of it, and Terrarium with a 1v1 situation, and Swizz couldn't really get the clear. And once the space was given, they're just so quick to make the most out of that. And Terrarium with a hook shot. Like, 2 defenders were like in the back, but none of them seem to be able to get anything done to stop that from going in. After 3 minutes of a lot of pressure, it had to be Renegades to be the one scoring. And this is not a like unusual thing for Maniacs. They kind of struggled with a bit of with their defensive rotation earlier, like especially in game 1, or like maybe I believe no, it was like game 2, where they had to race all the way back to stop the ball from going in, where it was like halfway in the net and halfway out of the net. So this is like another situation where they get caught up in the offensive and defensive rotation, and that's gonna cost them another goal in a very important game. Pokemon is there for the follow, gets a shot on net, and it's gonna be an open net, nobody's home, and we get to see the same problem, but this time it's happening for Renegades. Really good pass though from Alpine to Pokemon, catching everybody off guard, and we get to see an equalizer in 1 minute and 15 seconds, because the process of getting any goal right now, it's just becoming slower and slower while the pressure is still there. Azza still gets a demo, and the shot comes in, top corner, bounces back and forth, but still goes in. Tokyo putting the team back on the lead, and Azza, that demo was just so important. It just, Alpine, yeah, he was on the net, but he took like a very important player who was also in the right position that could have maybe even went for the challenge, but the communication for Renegades, it's really on point, and also the understanding of each other's, like what they're trying to do, that's really paid off, and they go back on the lead. Now Alpine not really getting the 50. It's gonna be a flip to the other side. Swizz once again caught in a 1v1 situation, but he's able to handle the situation very, very well. Pokemon trying to slow down the defense, and again Terrarium trying to get a bump or maybe even a demo. They're getting really, really physical. They have seen that demo, it opened a lot of space, and they're not afraid to do it again. Tokyo setting it up for double tap, but again Maniacs, they have to play it defensively as time is ticking, and that is really needed for Maniacs to have something done and tap the game, maybe even have an overtime. But Tokyo, I think, is gonna be the one killing the ball. Alpine still keep it high. Pokemon can't really get anything done. Maybe even went for that bump at least, but the bounce was some kind of a good bounce, but again they couldn't really go and finish it off or something. But we get to have another 1-goal game. It's I believe it's 2-1 in the series right now, and Renegades 1 game away from winning the series. And again, I really liked how Maniacs were playing, but again, like, they're kind of conceding a lot of open net goals. Like, yeah, Renegades also conceded an open net goal, but we rarely get to see that. There's like usually a player in the defense, and they couldn't really maybe react in time or something like that. But Maniacs, they had a lot of struggles with that, especially in the second game, where it just like, yeah, everybody had to race back, and maybe Pokemon just had to come from the other side and still couldn't really get the save. But right now they have to deal with that, and also it's just the demos and the bumps that are coming from Renegades. They're just adding a lot of pressure and a lot of problems to deal with for Maniacs. Let's see how that's gonna end up like, because it goes on back and forth. And we're gonna start with an early aggressive start, even though that's not gonna be resulting in that much. Still, those demos could be adding up. And we're seeing a lot of 50s so far. Everybody trying to have that aggressive start, and especially Maniacs. It has to be now or nothing. Wiz putting it low. Still Gibby bouncing, and Pokemon couldn't really find the 50. Alpine taking over. And Pokemon, I believe he tried to get the redirect, couldn't really find it, as Swizz trying to take his time, seeing that overcommitment in the offense, trying to get another touch at least up the wall, just to give that extra few seconds for his teammate to be repositioning themselves. And Pokemon once again trying to make a play in the corner, and Alpine right now taking over, and Swizz, his shot gonna be blocked, but Pokemon's shot is not gonna be blocked this time, as that pressure keeps on adding up, and they finally find their way to break through the defense of Renegades, as they have 1-goal lead in Game 4. The way they were positioned, it's like whoever gonna get the clear, somebody from Maniacs, they're gonna have the ability to follow it up. And that is something they really needed earlier. It's just gonna be helping out a lot to keep up with all of these pressuring plays, because they're going for a lot of setups, and Pokemon Go with a low shot here. Swizz, really good pass to drop it low, and also Pokemon going for a ground shot, not really peg it as high as possible, as two defenders went for it, and it still went past the defenders, as we get to see 2 goals lead right now for Maniacs. We have seen them going up in the lead like by 2 or like maybe even 3 in the second game, but near the end it was still a 1-goal game. So I wonder if that's gonna be repeated, like history gonna repeat itself, or maybe this game is gonna be different, because once again they do the same process. They're positioned in a really good way that's gonna allow them to have their follow-ups. But a lot of poor touches and poor 50s coming from Renegades. They're not really resulting in favorable bounces for them, as they always have to keep in mind from these touches. You know, they always have to make sure that they have a player in the back at least. Now Tokyo sending it high, but again it's gonna be easily handled by Swizz. Now Tokyo, again with a 1v1 situation, coming in with a upside down shot. It's gonna be blocked really quickly though, and a bit of miscommunication happens, and a demo from Terrarium, but the shot goes wide, so that could have been the opener for Renegades. Once again, they're trying to apply the same thing earlier. Now Alpine sending it high. Tokyo. It's gonna be a pass to Terrarium. Pokemon just interrupting that pass and getting right in the way. Now Tokyo. Trying to make a play happen here near the walls. And really good 50 this time. We get to see it from Azza to keep the ball here in the blue side as much as possible. And Azza getting a really good bounce here, but the double demo comes in. And even if that doesn't really happen, everybody seems to be overcommitted, as they have the same thing in Game 2. They go up by 3 goals, but right now I think we have 1 minute and a half. Yeah, even if we get to see some mistakes, I think that's still a good amount of goals to have. Like, yeah, even if you make a mistake, you can see it 1. Like, yeah, you still have 2 goals lead and a lot of time in the clock. Endless Renegades, like, yeah, you still shouldn't really underestimate them, because those bumps and demos, they're still doing a really good job, and Swizz with it going to extend the lead even further. They're not trying to let the same thing happen in Game 2. 4-0 on the board, and they're still not stopping. I really like how Swizz, he managed to find the net without having to do that much of effort. Just be in the right position and with the right touch by a single jump to get the ball going. Now Tokyo with a 1v1 play, but Pokemon is there to interrupt that play once again. But it seems like this time, Maniacs, they're having the momentum. Like we have seen the games to go back and forth, and I think this game might be the first game in the series that is not going to be a 1-goal game. And I think that's going to be helping out a lot for Maniacs, especially when it comes to having the confidence. Like, yeah, we nearly destroyed them, so you could just do the same thing again. They had like 3 goals lead in Game 2, and right now they have 4 goals lead. So the process just getting a lot faster. And we still get to see those demos, but the game is still going. And for Maniacs, I think they're fine with what they have right now. But for Renegades, maybe they're trying to at least get one goal, and I think Pokemon could be scoring another open net goal. 5-0 on the board, and you know that could be adding a really bitter taste in the mouth of Renegades as they go in the next game, because we're gonna go to game 5, and honestly I wasn't really expecting the series to be that close before we even get to start. I thought like, yeah, maybe Renegades will have it a lot easier, but hey, like Maniacs, they're having really good plays right now, and you know, a lot of effort has been put. Like those maybe passing plays and those like pressuring plays, always in the right position as we get to see the ball dropping down. And yeah, we're going to game 5, Maniacs versus Renegades, and that's only gonna make it even more exciting. This is also like the first game in the series that is not a 1-goal difference. As if you want to look at the shots, like Renegades had 2 shots only, while Maniacs they had 10 in general, and 5 of them were in. So I think that really sums up how game 4 went. Like Maniacs, they were always in the right position to follow the ball once it gets cleared, and that is something that wasn't really there in the beginning. Like yeah, Maniacs, they had the pressure, they had everything, but it was more of like just sending the ball high and just forcing Renegades to clear it. And that's like the pressure we have seen in game 4. It seems to be different, like it had some kind of magic in it. And right now we're coming to game 5, so there's not going to be any more games in the series. And the start is very important. 5-0 loss in the previous game, that might be a bit difficult to shake off. But for Maniacs, this is exactly what they needed to help and keep the confidence going, especially after the struggles that they had. And Tokyo getting the demo to Terrarium, can't really find it, and he's still able to get the pass and also a bump, but Azza, his attempt's gonna be a bit too wide. Swizz forcing a 50. Pokemon taking his time. Maybe we're gonna see a flip reset, but again, it's gonna be quickly denied. We're not really seeing a lot of mechanical plays. Just those bumps or maybe some kind of open nets that sometimes we get to see. As there's always going to be a player interrupting his opponents before they even get a better chance of having something done. And a lot of 50s in the air, especially in the midfield. And Swizz. Shot's going to be blocked to Terrarium, clearing it away, but Alpine once again he sends it back to the orange side. Azza clearing it high, but a bit of it, maybe a double commit, or maybe Tokyo, I think he got a bump on Pokemon to send him high and just keep him flying. 1 minute and a half in, and we have seen the same thing before, but Terrarium he's in the right position to clear it away. To maybe Azza sending it back to Terrarium. Now Tokyo taking control, Azza with a shot on net, and this one gonna go in. They take the lead here in game 5, and it's kind of like game 1. Yeah, they go through a lot of pressure, but once they get their counterplay, they always seem to be having calculated plays, as we get to see like that shot from Tokyo to at least make it bounce off the wall, and we get to see that follow-up from Azza. Pokemon with a fake here, couldn't really get the second one in a row. Alpine trying to take control, Tokyo immediately denying the play. Swizz dropping it low, Pokemon with a shot, again it's gonna be denied by Terrarium. Now Tokyo, as Terrarium goes for the bump, or maybe even the demo, forcing him to jump a lot earlier, but he's still able to get the block. And now Swizz, he also has to be careful when it comes to the car engine. That is getting louder and louder. That means a demo could be coming, so he has to make a play a lot faster, and it's gonna be an open net shot, and it goes in. Swizz catches everybody off guard, and that was pixel perfect to get the ball across Azza. He was still going for the challenge, but it was far enough from his car and also close enough toward the net as we get to see the equalizer happen here halfway in. Now Terrarium, sending it low, but another double commit comes in from Maniacs. I've seen a couple of double commits, even though none of them seems to be a major problem for Maniacs, but you never know which double commit that's going to be resulting in a goal to be conceding. Especially in such a tight game like this, where it goes on back and forth. Swizz, sending it high, and Alpine. This shot going to be blocked. Now, Pokemon off the ceiling. This time it's going to be Alpine getting the demo, but Pokemon. Now it's going to be Azza trying to get the shot going, but it's going to be blocked. And again, we're seeing a lot of demos coming from both sides. Kinda taking a player out of the play for a few seconds to create the gap. And Pokemon with a shot. It's going to be Azza to follow it up, and Swizz off the wall. He has to make a play, but Tokyo, really good read. Terrarium can't really find the redirect, but at least he gets the ball high. Nobody is there to follow it up. I think both teams are just thinking the same. Try not to overcommit and make sure that you can have a player in the back. Yeah, you get to see the ball going toward the net. Just make sure you can have the position. Try not to concede before we go in overtime, and make sure that the shot can be 100% safe for you. As Tokyo taking his time in that defensive play. Less than a minute left. Not a lot to boost though. Still on a mission to make a play. Swizz. Not really a powerful touch. But double commit happens here. And Alpine taking control, kinda looking awkward, but he's still able to make a play, buying some time for his teammate to get back. And Swizz, his clear gets blocked, and Tokyo sending it right in the middle. And Azza, once again, Maniacs managed to break through all of these pressuring plays. And you know, it's getting too exciting right now. We're seeing a really good pressure, a tied up game, and we're getting to game 5. Alpine almost denied that overtime, but Swizz, he's still on the play. Tries to get the pass going. And now Maniacs, they have to find a way to clear it and make sure that we're gonna go to an overtime. And the ball drops down. We're going to a game 5 overtime in the first series for today. Maniacs versus Renegades. One goal. That is going to be separating who's going to be coming out on top. Remember what I said earlier. We have champions in both sides. Swizz clearing it away. Pokemon Go with a redirect. It's going to be a little bit too high. Azza, he also gets some kind of doink here to send it all the way to the blue side. Alpine, maybe getting a fake. And maybe trying to get a demo or maybe even a bump on the last defender. Azza, I believe he kind of got bumped, but still able to make a play happen and just prevent the ball from going in. Azza, dropping it low. Swizz taking control, sending it high to the corner. Tries to find the net, and Tokyo, a bit of an awkward clear, but they get it going. Alpine. Demo happens here in the blue side. That's gonna be 2 players in the defense only instead of 3, while Alpine gets the counter, tries to find that 50 or maybe even the dunk, and Swizz trying to apply the pressure, not a lot of boost though. And Azza, he gets the ball across. Alpine with a boom and clear. Swizz getting boost out. That could be really dangerous for Maniacs. Tokyo, the ball dropping low, but nobody's able to get that read. 1 minute and a half in the overtime. Now Pokemon couldn't really find the shot. Tokyo with a shot, and Azza almost got that bump, but still created the panic for Swizz. And that was few inches away to actually go on the net. Tokyo sending it high, bounces off the ceiling. Tokyo with a 1v1 situation. He gets the block, and now Terrarium taking control, but it's gonna be blocked. And Azza again with a shot, and again those shots gonna be blocked. And Maniacs, they are a defensive brick wall right now, blocking every shot that is gonna be coming on them. Tokyo coming off the ceiling, but still bounces off the ceiling though. Alpine is gonna be getting some kind of touch to keep it away for now. Tokyo using the corner Pokemon. Now it's going to be Terrarium once again, controlling the midfield, preventing that boom and clear to happen from Ego Maniacs. Tokyo has been booming the ball so many times earlier. And oh, what a pass! And Azza finishing off the overtime, and the ball, it just bounces right into the middle. Azza getting the read so quickly, and there was no way they could react to that one. 131 kilometers per hour. There is no way. How close the ball was in front of the net and how speedy it was. Renegades, they take the victory. 3-2 here in Game 5 in an overtime. And that was a very, very close series. Renegades, they still managed to come out on top, even without Hoodie to be playing. Renegades still looking extremely strong, and you really wonder if they can be the ones possibly lifting up that maybe digital trophy, because it's not LAN. Maybe hopefully one day we can have LAN, but that was a very close series. Renegades, they still come out on top, and they managed to dominate. GG's and well played. That is a very well played series from both sides. They had done a very, very well, and especially like Alpine getting 4 saves, Pokemon 3 saves. Like we have seen them getting so many saves in a row, and that is just incredible how they managed to keep on holding very strong. But that bounce at the end, like there was no way that they could react to that, especially when you're the one who's defending. You're not gonna have it easier for you to get that read, but Azza, he just managed to be in the right position and just shoot the ball in net, and that's gonna do it. GG's and well played. Ego Maniacs, once again, they take it. No, not Ego Maniacs, excuse me, but Renegades, they managed to do it, and they're making a big statement here. And, you know, we're gonna go in a small break right now as we go and prepare the next series, which is gonna be Quantum Deos eSports versus Dred eSports. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere, and we'll see you guys there. And hello everybody, and welcome to the second series of today. This is Southeast Europe Rocket League Championship Season 5. This is Week 3, Day 1. I'm your host and caster Ryder once again. And before we also get to start the maybe the series, we could talk about Quantum Deos eSports versus Dred eSports. Quantum Deos, like, they managed to squeeze themselves to get qualified, and they had a lot of struggles. They had a lot of struggles in the qualifier before making it here in the league play, and especially the fact that they're make it here against Dred eSports, and they were known as risky business last season, and they managed to place the second best in that season. So it's gonna be interesting to see, because we also have a player named Pearl who used to play for Widom Kids, and also Forrest who used to play for Lupus 3, and they're now playing together, but with also the addition of other players to also join the team and, you know, form their own team as Forrest left. Lupus, he joined Quantum Deos with Pearl, and it's going to be a really interesting matchup here. What did they really struggle with? It wasn't really a streamed qualifier, of course, so just by looking at brackets and looking at maybe by paper, they had a lot of struggles to make it through, and they went by the second chance just to get qualified. And we have Dred eSports. Again, they managed to place the second. Nobody expected them to place the second, but they were still a good team and a very highly respected team. And I really wonder if we're gonna see some kind of struggles here, because they're kind of like up and coming team in general. Like, yeah, Widom Kids and Pearl managed to make it to the maybe like the playoffs last season, but right now he's going to be playing with a whole different players. Like they didn't really make it that far in the previous season, and they're going to be playing against extremely experienced players. hopotihoi, Zoan, AcroTic, who used to be a player for Team Black Diamond last season, and he is also a coach. And, you know, he could give really useful insights, and we get to see a bump right off the bat, but that's not going to be resulting in a goal. And yeah, like, especially between of those games, or maybe even during the goal replays, it could be giving a lot of useful insights to break down the mistakes and what they should be focusing on. But for Quantum Deos, it's gonna be interesting how they can be making a name for themselves, because they're gonna be playing against one of the best teams out there, AcroTic, with an air dribble dropping it low, but Sperl is gonna be able to get the block, and Zoa forcing the pressure to continue on, and we're gonna have an early goal for Dred eSports. Pearl just tried to control it maybe, but Zoa again getting that 50 going. And he was also positioned, yeah, even if it's gonna be bouncing off the ceiling, he was still gonna get that dodge, forcing his 50s in the way to get that one goal in the start. Now Zoa getting blocked really quickly though, before he even gets the clear. Hopotihoi, or maybe Forrest. Now Hopotihoi almost found the net, aiming for top corner. Zoa back to AcroTic. AcroTic just goes for the back pass, but Pearl is there to get that play going, as Pearl has played it defensively here. And a lot of 50s are just coming in already in 1 minute and a couple of seconds. And especially from okay, Kazuki just does it all by himself. We get to see him responding back. One of the players didn't really make it, but also that player just chasing the demo, forcing the last defender to jump and make the decision early. I think it just created a space for Kazuki to get something done in that play. As we get to see an equalizer happen here, 1-1, and that is some kind of a quick answer. But a really interesting passing play goes on here. AcroTic and Zoa. Right off the bat, AcroTic just drops it low, and Zoa, really clean shot, and the placement couldn't really be any better than that. And they take the lead back. Yeah, they get the equalizer, but they managed to get that lead back really quickly. And that's what makes a team really threatening. Like, yeah, you can tie up the game, but they'll send it right back for themselves as they start to control the game. AcroTic tried to make a solo play in the corner. Now hopotihoi. It has always been an interesting way to say his name, and a really good save from Pearl here to keep up with the pressure and Kazuki right now. And lots of bumps happening, and hopotihoi with a finisher. 3-1 on the board, a lot of bumps, a lot of maybe mistouches coming in from the blue side. And hopotihoi was there to finish it off, and Dred eSports, they're already off with a good, a very offensive start. Like, the first goal was just forcing the 50s and forcing their way through to get something done, and run out the bumps, and the net goes wide open. AcroTic sending it high though, and hopotihoi trying to find a way to pass it back. AcroTic with a follow-up, and that's the teamwork we get to see from Dred eSports. hopotihoi just sends it off the backboard, and AcroTic is still able to find the net. 4-1 on the board, and it seems like they managed to score a lot faster after getting that second goal. And you know, sometimes like, yeah, you type the game and you think like, yeah, maybe you have the momentum right now, but after you concede another one, it just becomes really difficult to keep your heads up, because you have put a lot of effort to get that goal, and then your opponents just manage to score against you like that. And hopotihoi with a pass, but this time it's gonna be denied by Forrest. And Forrest has always been praised for his ability to interrupt those passing plays and how quick he is when it comes to forcing challenges and 50s. And AcroTic getting a demo against Forrest. Pearl with a shot on net, but it's gonna be cleared away by AcroTic. Zoa. You can see a corner play. Forrest trying to get a pass going here, but Zoa drops it down. Pearl is still able to get the follow and continue on the pressure. And Forrest with a shot on net. Kazuki, he managed to get a pass, or I have no idea how he got an assist here. Okay, he gets the ball off the corner, and Forrest, he was just so quick to follow it up and managed to get the ball across all of the defenders, and the timing just had to be extremely tight, and he managed to squeeze the ball in. And the lead is cut in half right now, down by 2 goals. It's very, very possible. And I think all what they need is just it's just those center balls and those shots. They just have to be a bit more meaningful because they're getting their shots across. And Kazuki aiming for top corner. It's gonna be bouncing out, and I think that is a bit unfortunate for them. Normally the ball wouldn't really be bouncing like that, but sometimes it happens. And when you're being down by 2, you know how frustrating that is. And AcroTic getting a slight bump, and that made a huge difference in that play. Like, he was still boosting and just getting that slight touch on the last defender, Zoa. He was there, and seeing that play, seeing that AcroTic is not done yet. Like, yeah, he doesn't really have the ball anymore, but he still got something in mind to do. And 5-2 right now. Kazuki bumping AcroTic, but he's still able to get the ball across, and AcroTic, he gets a demo too. And REN eSports, they seem to be unstoppable right now. They're having a lot of ways to come out on top in these offensive plays. AcroTic with a solo play, almost getting past all the defenders in that air dribble, and that could have been the highlight of this game. hopotihoi, the pass to the midfield, but the shot goes way too high and wide. And Zoa with a follow-up, and again it's gonna be a bit too high. But 3 goals lead. I don't think they really need more than that. Oh, what a passing play! Can they finish it off though? But Pearl, his shot's gonna be blocked. And again, like 2 moments that could have been the highlights of this game, but they kinda got blocked. I'm kinda upset why they didn't really go in, especially that pre-flip passing play. And Kazuki getting another goal here. 2 goals difference right now, but again, it's gonna be extremely difficult to have their equalizer. But again, they're aiming for having as many goals as possible, and you know, it really shows that yeah, they could still do great, especially the offense. And Kazuki has been getting a lot of goals in this game. Okay, he got like 2 goals, and he has been doing a great job in the offense, keeping the team very, very close. But yeah, maybe they just needed a bit of a warm-up, or they needed to see how their team, or like how their opponent gonna be playing like, so they could just try to adjust and maybe come up with a strategy that's gonna be helping them to adapt and make some the suitable changes that can be helping them to manage to win against REN eSports. But again, 5-3 against like one of the best teams out there. Like, yeah, that's not way too far from make it happen. Like, Deos, they still managed to have their really, really good plays. Like, yeah, they had a lot of amount of shots, but it just like if most of these shots were really meaningful and calculated, I think Deos, they could have definitely won the game, because they did really great in the offense. Especially like Kazuki and Forrest, like their accuracy seemed to be really good, but a lot of times where they had to center the ball and nothing really happened besides the time just has been wasting during the whole time. But like, yeah, this is gonna be game 2 right now. I think Deos, they have seen how their opponents are playing like, and they managed to get like 5-3 in the end. And it's time to see if they can have the momentum, or maybe it's gonna be something else here in game 2. Zoa is gonna be the one to start it off. AcroTic trying to make a play, but it's gonna be blocked really quickly. hopotihoi can't really get anything done, but still getting some time at least, and nobody's home. AcroTic with a finisher here, but it's gonna be blocked by Forrest as he just shows up right in time, and so he's able to squeeze the ball to pitch it all the way back. Now Pearl and AcroTic whiffing the ball. That is a bit unusual. This is just bounced for a little bit too long. Now Pearl once again going for a solo play. Kazuki, his shot gonna be denied by hopotihoi, not really allowing them to have their own passing plays. They had a lot of space, and that was a really good decision from Kazuki to go for a pass. And Zoa and hopotihoi, they almost had their passing play here in front of the goal line, but again, it's gonna go wide as we get to see the ball crossing the midfield right now, but it's gonna be sent right back by Zoa, and it's gonna be bouncing off the crossbar as it just goes really, really high. And 1 minute and a half, and we're still not gonna see a first goal yet. We're seeing really good pressure, but again, it seems like maybe Bright eSports, they're also struggling when it comes to finding the net. They start with aggressive start, like, yeah, maybe it's not as aggressive as it was in the first game. Now Pearl with a pre-flip to get that touch, and now Kazuki with a shot on net, but hopotihoi is gonna be able to handle all of this, and Kazuki, his shot gonna be blocked, and once again Kazuki getting another shot of his blocked. hopotihoi looking for the redirect. Forrest once again showing up right in time and just keeping the game scoreless. 2 epic saves so far, but they really need to be careful because sometimes getting epic saves, they're not always a good thing because it shows up you barely make it here, the defense, and Zoa dropping it low. hopotihoi with a finisher, and we get to see a passing play that's going to be paying off for Bread Esports as they take the lead. hopotihoi getting that finisher as Zoa. It just kind of stopped in the corner just to get the ball across and didn't really have to force the ball to go forward. And Forrest, really good shot on net, but hopotihoi, really good read to keep it out as they hold into that 1-goal lead. And hopotihoi, really interesting way to get his flip reset as Zoa tries to get the dunk, but can't really find it. Now AcroTic off the ceiling. It's gonna be Kazuki taking control. And again, Zoa. We have seen Bread Esports forcing a lot of 50s, and I think that has been keeping Quantum Deos in the defensive area for quite some time. And Pearl trying to have a bump here, but AcroTic is so managed to get the clear. And Forrest, I think he tries to do the same thing, going for a lot of speedy challenges. And really good bounces here in the orange side, but nobody wants to risk it to go and get the follow-up. Pearl, really good way to clear it all the way out. But running out to boost can't really get anything done. AcroTic with a shot on net, and nobody's home. We get to see 2 goals lead here for Bright Esports. Kazuki again, another mistouch coming in. We have seen a couple of mistouches earlier, and whenever they happen, it's like Bright Esports, they're always there to punish, and this is something that even in last season, they have been doing all of the same strategy. One mistake, and they can be there to punish. And right now we have like, yeah, they were only named Risky Business, but it's like it's the same team. It's all with the addition of AcroTic, and they have the same thing. Once you make a mistake in the defense, they're always there to capitalize. That thing never changed about the players. Now AcroTic with a shot, but it's gonna be blocked. Zoa taking control, trying to find the net, but it's gonna be Pearl this time, denying all of these flashy plays that are trying to come in. And a bit of a double commit, but the ball gets pinched. I think that was somehow a shot was gonna go on net. But really good thing from Bread Esports to predict that and be right there in the right time. As we get to see the last minute right now. And a lot of double commits happening. And we get to see a shot by Kazuki once again. He has been a really good striker in the first game. But in this game, I don't think he's having the ball just as much as how he did earlier. And hopotihoi with an open net here, another defensive mistake. 2 players just being too close, and you know, these kind of mistakes, they're always going to be resulting in a goal for Bread Esports. And they just need to find a way to hold their defensive really tightly. Make sure that communication can be on point. Make sure that you're going to give your teammates enough space and you're going to trust them to avoid any kind of confusion that's going to be happening, because like, we're already over the last season where communication seemed to be such a problem for so many teams. And Quantum Deos, it's kind of like an alarming situation, because not a lot of teams that are struggling with the communication here. And you really want to make sure that communication has to be on point, because I think that's like the easiest thing to get on point. And we get to see a bit of a silly goal comes in. Not sure what happened, but the last player didn't really get the touch needed. Maybe AcroTic. Okay, he got the fake. We just could call it a fake. It's not a whiff. 4 goals lead for Bread Esports. 8 seconds left. I don't know if we're gonna see any more goals, because they've been relentless when it comes to scoring. And game 2, once again, I believe it's gonna go toward Red eSports, but they're keeping the ball alive. hopotihoi maybe looking for something really fancy as AcroTic takes over. But even Peril just trying to keep it alive, but can't really continue on that. But Bright Esports, they managed to take the second game again. They're having really good players, and it really shows how comfortable and confident they're playing today. They're having their passing players. They're also having a lot of attempts to go for flashy plays. Like, yeah, they got like 4 goals lead, but they're not afraid to go for risky and mechanical plays because they're having fun right now. While Quantum Deos, they're struggling. Like, yeah, maybe the first game seems to be more of a possible game, but like here in game 2, it seems like everything is just adding more to the weight for Quantum Deos to get over with. And, you know, I think that could be really problematic because a lot of struggles happened, and especially with the communication, it's really difficult. Like, yeah, even if they got goals, even if they had the lead, if you're not going to have good communication, you're going to have hard times keeping up with that lead. So having goals mean nothing if you can't defend properly. And I think defense has been such a problem for them. But once they're in the offense, they're actually doing really, really good. Like, they're not a bad team once they have the ball in the offense, especially with Kazuki being a really good striker. But we haven't really seen any of that in the second game. And it's kind of upsetting because they have a lot of potentials, but we haven't really seen them happening. Here in game 3, being down by 2, it has to be now or nothing. And the start is very important. I think Quantum Deos, they really need to find a way to go in the lead first, just to have some kind of a moment of relief. Like, yeah, it's possible. We got this. We can have our reverse sweep. And AcroTic almost forced his way on that 50. This time we're not going to see a double commit, so that's a bit of an improvement, even though 2 players seem to be very close. But as long as a play never happened, that's not going to be a double commit, as Kazuki having to make a play here with 0 boost. Forrest getting a big demo, but can't really make the most out of it. And it's going to be going all the way to the other side. Kazuki again trying to add to the pressure. And we'll get to see more of those double commits. So they're kind of happening in the offense instead of defense. And you know, okay, we get to see another 50 from hopotihoi. He just rudely cuts me off for what I was about to say, but this is something that they've been really good on. It's just winning those 50s. We have seen it in game 1, and right now we're seeing the same thing. Just go for the 50. You see the team struggling to get the clear? Just go and make a play happen. It doesn't really matter. Just go and force yourself on the ball, and that's how they're getting their things done. Now Kazuki, solo play. He gets a demo on the wall. He tries to get the second one. Now AcroTic. 0 boost flick. Flicks it high. Kazuki sending it high. hopotihoi just waiting for his turn. Sends it back to Zoa. hopotihoi looking for the redirect, or maybe even sending it high. Just give it for one of his teammates to follow it up. And now hopotihoi coming off the ceiling. Still got his flip though. They gotta be careful, and he can't really find the net. But again, the defense is just kinda struggling once again. Kinda giving a lot of space to allow all of these mechanical plays to happen. A lot of unnecessary passing plays, but a triple commit happens from Bright Esports. They've managed to get away with it. They just need to be careful not to let these kind of things, you know, like yeah, we're already winning, but there could be a moment where they can be catching them off guard. hopotihoi deciding to go for a center ball instead of just shooting it. So it was like, yeah, an open net, but can't really get there right in time. Now Zoa, 0 boost. It's gonna be difficult to make a play happen. Zoa, with a wave dash, he gets the work done for now. 2 minutes remaining. And Kazuki, really good mind game, but couldn't really get past the second challenger, which was hopotihoi. And the shot comes in on net. hopotihoi, I believe he kind of got a bump, but Forrest, he was still able to make a save. And you know, Forrest has been making a lot of saves earlier, and he has been doing really well defensively. yeah, even despite those um, defensive issues that they were having, Forrest seems like he always comes in these clutch moments. Now 1.5 minutes. We still haven't seen that much in the offensive side from Quantum Deos, Kazuki of the ceiling, but again it's gonna be interrupted by hopotihoi in the ceiling. Forrest trying to clear it. Zawa with a shot on net. Maybe it's gonna be bouncing off the backboard, but Pearl with a really good 50 to send it high, and AcroTic trying to get the read of the ceiling, and the shot goes on net. Even with that touch, that just didn't really seem to be enough. AcroTic does it all by himself this time, and you could even see that hopotihoi. Like, yeah, they're going for solo plays, and looking by their positioning, like, yeah, they're ready to go for these flashy plays. They're ready to go for these mechanical plays. Like, yeah, let me just go for a crazy redirect or something, because this is how confident the team is feeling. And even without having a big lead, they're just feeling that good. And Kazuki, really good save, but the ball is still here, and paired with an upside down save, still managed to get it out. Wasn't really seeing it from his own perspective, but that kind of looked insane. And not a lot of time remaining. And really good pass, but it's gonna be denied. Now AcroTic is not able to make a play. And hopotihoi doesn't really have to get the touch, but we get to see another triple commit. But again, they get away with it. So we have seen 2 triple commits coming from BES eSports. But I think it's just a matter of time to, you know, like, let the ball drop down, or maybe we could still go for one more clip or something like that, because it's gonna be a sweep already for them. And even though he couldn't really find the net, and maybe a 0-second would do, because I think that is what BES eSports trying to get. But everybody just keeping the ball up, and even Kazuki is having his solo play. He flicks it high, and he gets his goal at least, and 2-1. It was still a close game. Like, yeah, it was still possible, I think, but maybe Quantum Deos, I think they just kind of needed more time to make this happen. They had the potentials. They were really good in the offense, but again, in the end, they fell short against BES eSports, and they're like one of the best teams out there. So we still have yet to see more of Quantum Deos, how they can be playing, because again, their offensive plays seem to be alright, but their defense seemed to be really problematic, and they suffered from the start all the way to the end. And GG's, and well played. BES eSports, they take it in a sweep, 3-0 victory. That's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to follow Liga Raketa here on Twitch, and also join the Discord to keep in touch with the community and the fan base. But before we even end the stream, huge shout for the sponsors, Challenger Mode and Blue Phoenix GG. Without them, again, it wouldn't have been possible to have this tournament and season up and running. And once again, I have been Rydro, and has been observed and handled by NSX. He was handling over the streams, like the overlay and banners and everything else. Have you guys enjoyed the games? And we're still not done. We have day 2 tomorrow, so stay tuned for more actions, and take care of yourselves, and we'll see you guys next time. And hello everybody, and welcome to Southeast Rocket League Championship Season 5. This is week 3, day number 2. I'm your host and caster, Rydro, and today we only have one series. We got some news for you guys. Um, Unfortunately, Maniacs decided to not show up for the second series, so it's only gonna be Titans versus OnlyTheFamily. And since Maniacs gonna be gone from the competition, I believe that Puncture could be replacing them, and they're going to be joining here in the league play. So stay tuned for more about these news, but does it really matter, because we have a lot of uh, promising games coming up next, and especially Titans versus OnlyTheFamily. And I mean, Titans, they had a phenomenal performance against Z Esports. They actually beat them in a 3-0 victory. Z Esports, they had like Passy and Sheila, they're like a very experienced player, and they looked very promising coming here in the competition. They're like one of the upcoming teams, like recently joined in. They looked very promising, and I think they're still looking promising. But Titans, they had a great performance that time. Like yeah, sure, some of the games were like one goal difference, but Titans, it's always looked like they were like in a perfect day. Everything looked really great for them. They were like in the best shape possible for Titans. Meanwhile, for OnlyTheFamily, like yeah, they're still looking good. But like they had a lot of ups and downs, and you really wonder how it's gonna be like because I really believe it's gonna be something like a coin flip here in this series because Titans looked really consistent last time, and it's almost like yeah, Haregan, like he said, he really needs to find his success finding the best team that he could be working with. And with that performance of last week, it was great example of that. And I'm really hoping to see the same kind of performance from Titans, but OnlyTheFamily, they have a tough series ahead. They're going to be playing against Titans. And, you know, I believe Titans are like Haregan, he placed top 3 or top 4 last season in the playoffs. So you got also a lot of experience, and same thing for OnlyTheFamily players. But it's gonna be really tough series for sure because again, OnlyTheFamily, they had a lot of ups and downs. They have the demos, they have really good pressure, but the thing that they struggle with the most is it just the pacing, and sometimes they can't really keep up with their rotation, and you really wonder if it's just the demos that get them out of rotation, or it just the speed, or like maybe the boost management gonna be causing all of these problems. But again, for Titans, they're really looking for establishing themselves really, really early, especially here in the league play. And with 3-0 victory from the previous series they played in, and now they can be playing against OnlyTheFamily. I'm really, really excited to see how this can be turning up like because even in the series that Titans lost to, which was against Dred, like even in their loss, they still looked great. They also had like one goal difference, and Bright Esports, or they were like playing under the name Risky Business last season. They placed the second, and they're still looking like a great team. Titans, they still managed to put a really good fight against them, even if they didn't really win. But I think Titans here, like they're having the favor in this in this series. They're looking extremely good, and you know, OnlyTheFamily, they had one win, one loss, and I believe it's the same thing for Titans. But you'll wonder if that's kind of momentum can be carried over. Like um, maybe Titans, like yeah, they found the exact strategy that they need to be pulling off every time they're gonna be playing and hitting the ball. While OnlyTheFamily, they have been kind of like the same kind of ideas like they're going for. Like yeah, just go for demos, blast the ball really high, and that's how we get a roll. And it's gonna be interesting if we're gonna see the same kind of situation happening here in such a big series. Titans versus OnlyTheFamily in the best of 5 series. And there you go with the kickoff, and we get to see a very early demo, but this time it's not going to be coming up from OnlyTheFamily. And Haregan looking for the pass right off the bat, but still, like, after the kickoff, nobody really find their footing that quickly. Now xegi just controlling the ball, not really blasting it off, and Anthony reading that very well. Now just can't really get anything done. Deem, he's still on the play, but the ball gets to be sent back to the blue side once again. Deem getting a slight touch. Maybe that can be do something nice for his teammate to slow it down just a little. And Deem again, once again in the defensive area. It seems like Titans, they have been more defensive in the first minutes of the first game. Now Haregan trying to make a solo play, can't really get anything done, and Deem trying to take over. And this is, I believe, one of the first few counters we get to see from Titans. But again, just didn't really seem to be lasting long enough, and the demos are just coming in right now. I was talking about them, like, yeah, maybe they only happen, like, in a couple of games, but it seems like it's more of their playstyle right now. It's like, yeah, they always gonna be able to find ways to pull these demos, but the thing is, can they capitalize on these demos? Can they make some use of them? And can they have them to be resulting in the goals? And Haregan with a shot on net, but it's going to be denied. And now Dred sending this one away. Instead, going to be starting their counter attack. Anthony trying to make a shot happen here, but again, it's going to be really blocked. And very quickly from the defense of Titans, they have been holding on very strongly in the defense, even though they have been kind of struggling under lots of pressure coming from OnlyTheFamily. And there's nothing new. This is the kind of playstyle that OnlyTheFamily they go for. Just keep the ball there and wait until a mistake happens. Just keep up with the offensive rotation. And we're nearly halfway in, and we still haven't really seen a goal yet from both sides. xegi with a solo play. It's going to be high in the backboard, but just he's going to be there to clear it away. Now xegi forced to make a play, deciding to slow it down. And it's a really smart decision. Not a lot to boost, but not really panicking. They still hold very strongly here in the defense. Dred, really good attempt to get a pass across. And Dred, even in his rotation, he gets something done. Just trying to create some gaps for his teammates to work with. Dred with a shot on net, and nobody could get there in time. And 1-0 for Titans. And it's almost like the same kind of struggles happening here. Just kind of getting outpaced and not really keeping up with the perfect rotation that's going to be helping out OnlyTheFamily known playstyle, which is keep the ball there and make sure you're always going to have a player to be going for the ball once it's going to be cleared. And I believe just he was a few inches away from making that clear. But he had to rush, and even with that, just nothing happened. Dred, really good pass. Anthony with a solo play, but it's going to be Deem sending it away. And we're seeing a lot of demos coming from both sides right now. It doesn't seem to be an exclusive thing for OnlyTheFamily. And Anthony trying to force a 50, doesn't really win it. Haregan trying to make a play off the wall. Now just Haregan trying to make a clear, not a lot of boost, but he still managed to get a decent shot, or maybe a decent hit. Now xegi trying to apply the pressure. Haregan with a shot on net, but doesn't really go in. It goes a bit wide. xegi taking over. Goes up high. I believe he got his flip reset. Couldn't really find the dunk though, but still keeping the ball in the orange side, and the same kind of strategy that OnlyTheFamily has been using. And right now they're going the process. They're just testing their own medicine. Titans, they're still doing a really good job. It seems like that's not working against them. Like maybe we need to see some kind of passing plays, or maybe a little bit of creativity, because Titans, they have been proving themselves that they are decent to the defense. And very interesting save, or maybe clear from Haregan. I think all what it took is just him having to be present in that situation, just be in the goal line, and the ball bounced perfectly off his car. And not a lot of time remaining. Haregan trying to get something fancy here to finish it off with. xegi again trying to keep it there. Maybe that attempt didn't really result in anything. Now Dred and Anthony, they get the equalizer at the last second, and they're not letting go the first game. Just the dream happens here. Like, they get the demo and they also get the shot going. Anthony helping out his teammate. This time it's not gonna be Dred chasing the demo, but he reads that very well. Seeing that his teammate going for the demo, and he just decides to play it very slowly. And 1 second was left, and they managed to send it to an overtime, and 1 goal away from taking the first game. And you wonder if that's gonna be enough, but Deem is gonna be having an open net, and once again they get to be caught on the rotation. This time Deem, like, he has been doing a really good job in the defense from like the first 5 minutes in this game, but like in the overtime he managed to show up. Like, yeah, he's not just a defensive player, like he helps in that counter and also getting that finisher goal in the overtime. So Yeah, like a lot of saves he got. Like I still believe there were like more than two. I think the game doesn't really count once you get two saves in a row or something. But that was a really good performance once again from Titans. Like yeah, it was one goal difference still. Only the family they managed to wake up at the last few seconds of the game. But again, once it was sent to the overtime, they managed to fall really short against them. As Titans, they still take the win. They get their lead back as we have 1-0 in this series. And only the family, they still need to find ways how to implement those demos, how to implement those physical plays that can be resulting in goals. And also keep in mind of the rotation because two goals have been conceded. They were kind of open nets. Like, yeah, the first one wasn't really an open net. There used to be a player, but couldn't really make it in time. And that goal in the overtime, it was a whole open net. So it could have been a different story if the rotation was on point. And just with a shot on net, it's gonna be Deem this time, getting it out. Haregan, not the best touch. The shot goes on net, but it's gonna be hitting the crossbar instead. And Dred, again, just the crossbar curse right now. Two shots, they were coming in, but both of them were like bouncing of the crossbar, and we didn't really even see any kind of follow-up. But the pressure is still going, and I think they're having better kind of shots and pressure than the first game. Because at least they're having shots on net instead of blasting it really high or just maybe keeping it there in the corner and forcing one of the players to clear it away. And Dred and xegi here in the air trying to beat each other's at the ball. And once again we can have maybe a slow game. Now xegi playing it defensively, and Dred sending it to the backboard. Haregan misses the clear, but Deem is gonna be there to back everybody up, and he shows up in the defense even in the second game. He's having a really important role here. Deem, again, he also made it in the defensive area where it looked like, yeah, it was gonna be an open net, but he managed to show up. Now xegi trying to make a play in the midfield, and a demo comes in from Dred, trying to create the space, and another demo comes in, this time from just getting a demo on Deem, and you know, it's kind of like the backbone of the defense so far, and getting him demoed could be creating a lot of space, especially the defense. Now Dred slowing it down just a little, but there is nobody to help him out on a demo, as two players were in the defensive area. And Anthony getting another demo here once again. We're seeing a lot of them, but we're not seeing those chances. Okay, we get to see another great chance for them to make some use out of it. Like, that is a really good 50 from Dred to send it high. And also, like, yeah, maybe the demo earlier, like, it still created some kind of space for them. And it's really, you know, like, it put some kind of bad effect on the rotation or the positioning for Titans, as OnlyTheFamily, they take the lead halfway in the second game. They're finding more ways to apply these demos, and we get to see another one from Dred, and the demos are just raining. Like, I really wonder how many demos they could get, like, on average, but xegi is gonna be the one responding back. Once again, we get to see the same thing. Maybe just can't really get the pinch, and maybe that was a little bit unlucky for them. Couldn't really get the pinch out of the wall, and the shot was coming in very, very quickly, and the game is tied up. So that one goal lead didn't really last very long, where it looked like, yeah, OnlyTheFamily, they managed to find the momentum. But we are sent back to the reality really quickly. Deem, really good shot, and was that an on goal? I think it was cleared, but somebody hit the ball very quickly. Maybe it was Dred, or I don't know, somebody was flipping. Yeah, it was Dred, and it was a chaotic situation, and that's gonna be resulting in another goal against OnlyTheFamily as they lose their lead and they go down by 1. And a kickoff goal, and I'm not sure what is going on in this game right now. 3 goals so far, back to back. They just extremely unpredictable. He still managed to put it far post though. Like this kind of angle, it's still difficult to make. Like yeah, it's a kickoff, like just bounce it off, but he still managed to get the ball in net, and we can have another equalizer here in the second game. Now Dred making a play, just not a lot to boost, and everybody's overcommitted. Deem can find the read of the wall. Haregan tries to help, but it's gonna be right in front of the box. xegi is still on the play, still got his flip, a shot on net, and that's gonna be the lead for Titans. Haven't really seen. Okay, that is like the second on goal so far. Yeah, just because a player hit the ball like from the orange side, and yeah, didn't really manage to clear it, but that's still gonna be counting as an on goal. Like even if they can win, it's gonna show us a traitor. And Deem, once again, we get to see a goal right after the kickoff. I'm not really sure what is going on at this point. A lot of weird goals going in, and you know the game moved very slowly. Once OnlyTheFamily got the first goal, this is where, like, the moment where we started to see a lot of goals coming in from both sides. 6 goals here in the second game, but compared to the first one, it was like, yeah, only 3 goals. Just the shot on net, xegi sending it to the corner, taking his time, a lot of space being given. xegi could go for a solo player, maybe even a pass, but it's gonna be denied really quickly by Anthony. Not really letting that happen. As they're down by 2, they need to have some kind of aggression. Can't really let go of this game. Just not the best hit. xegi looking for the read. He gets the read, but Anthony is gonna be in the right position to deny that play. Haregan sending it back, and xegi looking for that redirect. As he just coming off the wall like that, still managed to create some kind of panic, and we're gonna see another goal coming in from Titans. They're up by 3, and we're not gonna see any equalizer right now. Like, yeah, maybe the first game it was 1 goal difference. They still managed to continue on and ignore that they're down by 1. But right now it's like down by 3 with 20 seconds. There's nothing could be done about that. Like, yeah, you can just prevent your opponents from scoring. That's like the only thing you can do right now. Or maybe try to get some goals at least to help the confidence in the next game. And that could be another goal, but just keep it away. Deem just killing the ball, and we get to see Titans going up by 2 in the series. Like, the first game was extremely close. But like in the second game, I know it was a really weird game. Like both teams got some weird goals, like weird bounces, kickoff goals. That's something a little bit unusual. Like we don't really get to see these kind of goals happen here in the league play, or at least as far as I could remember. Like we barely get to see them. But like it was a lot of chaos coming, and it just makes the game very unpredictable. However, like in the next game, it's gonna be game 3, so OnlyTheFamily they still need to find a way to bounce back, and I think it could be really difficult to do so. Like, yeah, the first game was really close. They gave it their best, but that still didn't really work. It seemed like it wasn't enough for them to get the win. And in the second game, like, it was out of control, even for both sides. Like, Titans they managed to win it, of course, but it was still out of control. And you know, Titans definitely take that win, but the momentum could be a really hard thing to get right now. And xegi almost getting an on goal off the wall like that, and that would have been, I don't know, maybe like, you know, the craziest redirect, but just with a really good save, he pinches it out of the net. And we're starting with early pressure coming from Titans. Really good shots coming in on that, but the defense of OnlyTheFamily, they have really stepped it up. But it just maybe they stop these demos. Not really sure if that's gonna be the solution for them, because they're getting really tight saves. and they seem to be present in the goal line. See, they're just leaving it wide open. Haregan passes it to Deem. Now xegi didn't really make the most out of it. Anthony with a shot on net, and that one gonna go in. OnlyTheFamily, they take the lead here in game 3. And that's what I really like to see. OnlyTheFamily, they managed to stay in the defensive area a bit more, and they managed to get that counter. Like, maybe didn't really even need that much of effort. Just be in the right position and boom the ball from distance as they get that on net. But they still need to find ways to extend that lead, because that's not going to be enough. And a booming shot, but it's going to be xegi in the right position to clear it away. Now xegi, not allowed to boost, can't really go for that shot. He still managed to find a way to center it, but it's going to be Dred finding a way to clear it. Haregan, Deem getting demolished this time. So Haregan didn't really have anybody to pass to. It's going to be a free ball for OnlyTheFamily. Now xegi, back to Deem. Deem back to xegi. He's looking for that 50, but still forcing the pressure and trying to find each other's once they are upfield. And just with a 1v1 situation, he managed to win the race and also getting the ball across as they go up by 2 with nearly 3 minutes remaining. OnlyTheFamily, they're looking really promising. They're stepping up their defense, they're having their counters, less demos. Kind of an unusual approach coming from OnlyTheFamily, but it's working, it's getting them goals, and I really wonder if that's going to be the change that they can be going with. So they could have possibly the reverse sweep and a really good save from Juusk, but that's not going to be lasting long enough. xegi forcing this one to go in. Back to 1 goal difference. That could have been the case for OnlyTheFamily to feel extremely confident, especially after the second game. And right now, it just shows that Titans, they're still fighting and they're not letting go at all. Still have the pressure. And Titans, they're taking control this time. 2 players missing the clear, and maybe not really missing the clear, but the actual challenge. Haregan can't really make something happen, but he managed to get the ball across. Deem couldn't really show up in time, but still, we get to see OnlyTheFamily still having the lead, but it's getting a little bit chaotic here for them. Can't really find any control in the ball whatsoever, and we get to see a shot coming from xegi, and we get to see a comeback from Titans. They have been struggling a lot. Like, yeah, they were in the defensive area, but none of them seems to be able to follow it up. Everybody seems to be a little bit too far, just maybe not really facing the right direction. And this is where Titans, they managed to show up and punish them right away. And xegi with a solo play, it's gonna be denied by Anthony. And you know, for Titans, like, we have seen them having a couple of attempts of passing plays and trying to find each other's. Well, OnlyTheFamily, they just managed to rely on their counters and having to play it really safe, and you can't really blame them as they're down by 2. You can't really go for such risky plays because it's gonna be now or nothing. And for Titans, like, yeah, they could have the confidence because they're already up by 2, and they could go for whichever plays suitable. And Deem sealing the lead. Haregan, yeah, maybe he didn't really get a shot on net, but still having it in the right spot, and Deem in the right position. Just in case if that doesn't go in, he's gonna be there for the cleanup, and he was there for the cleanup as we see Titans having the lead with 1 minute left in game 3. OnlyTheFamily, they have been really quiet recently, especially after like getting that 2 goals lead. And then Titans made their comeback. Time is slowly ticking. Anthony booming it away. xegi, not the best touch. And Anthony getting a demo, trying to create the space. Dred. Really good center ball, but nobody's there to follow it up. Anthony. Just keep it away after danger. Anthony booms it high. Deem with a shot. It's gonna be near the post. Still killing a lot of time, and it's really needed for OnlyTheFamily. Kinda struggling, and it's kind of like a fish out of water right now. Trying to throw anything, anything that is possible. Trying to get a shot on net. Anthony, this could be it. As Dred with a shot, but it goes way too wide. And just with an equalizer, we get to see it the second time. Okay, the shot was way too wide, but Anthony, he was in the right spot, in the